Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Wendy Nystrom with Environmental Social Justice. Today, we have a very special guest, Miss Julie Davitz. She is the founder and CEO of Plus Media Solutions, whose tagline is "Don't just watch, do." Welcome to the show, Julie.
Thanks so much, Wendy. Great to see you again.
Thank you. And I love what Plus Media Solutions does. So could you explain just really quick what your company does and what impact investing is or impact solutions are?
Exactly. So basically, we connect inspiration to action. And what we feel, what we know is that solutions to our problems exist. Yes. The issue is connecting them to people. So that's what we do.
And one of the things I do want to acknowledge, you're one of the pioneers in impact solutions. So you were the former senior vice president for the head of impact solutions at BNB Paribas Bank of the West. What was your job there? Because that's when it was new. No, people probably didn't really understand what impact solutions were.
Well, we define impact solutions as ways to deploy your capital, either through charitable dollars or investment dollars. And those dollars actually go to fund solutions. And so my role was really to bring what BNP Paribas has done all over the world for several decades and bring it to North America. And it's really quite exciting because even though there are a lot of people that maybe aren't as familiar with all of these different ways to invest to do good and do well at the same time, it's exciting to know that a big financial institution has taken that on.
Yeah, and I love the fact you said that you brought it to the North America because we are a little bit behind the curve with environmental social governance, with impact investing, social justice. So the fact that BNP Paribas was ahead of this, and they're also Bank of the West, they were one of the leaders to say we need to bring this to North America. You led that charge, but then you decided to create this Plus Media Solutions, which connects people to these impact hubs. I mean, this is taking the consumer directly where they need to go. How did you come up? I mean, it's a brilliant idea.
Well, thank you. It really grew out of my frustration. I mean, I've been in the impact space for over 20 years, and people are always asking me, what can I do? How can I learn more? Where should I put my investment dollars or charitable dollars? And I thought, wait a second. First of all, it's impossible to scale me. Second, there's so much awareness of problems around the world, not to mention the fact that we have the UN that gave us the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the UN SDGs, several years ago, which is a great global roadmap to solve our challenges. So I thought, okay, we need to link the solutions that exist directly to consumers. And we do that by plugging in, we call it the plus effect. So when you watch an awareness raising campaign or you watch a film, a little plus comes up on that screen, you click it and you get your menu, which is the impact hub of those curated and vetted solutions. So what you can do after you've been inspired by that story.
And I love the fact that it's just a little plus sign. You can click on it and you're just taken, you don't have to Google it. You don't have to hunt for the lingo. Because I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people, this is a specific language we all speak that we assume the general public understands. Right. And that's not the case, which is why we do this show to begin with, is communicating to everybody. And you are doing that as well. And also, most importantly, where you and I aligned in our first conversation, positivity. There's so much negativity and doomsday protocol in this environment that we're in. We've got to focus on the good. So to talk about how you're focusing on just the positive aspect.
Well, we know from our own experience at Plus Media and also through a lot of research that when people don't have tools, or if they're not even aware that there are solutions to problems, it makes you really depressed and apathetic and fearful about the future. But if we can give them tools that are just one click, it's immediate, and they don't have to Google, they don't have to remember that hashtag, it's just right there. And in addition, what we do is we track the behavioral analytics. So we can go back to our client, the content producer, and say, this is what people are actually doing once they hear your story, once they watch your video. And that's really important because we need to know what's resonating with people around the world, what really gets people activated so that we can do more of that.
Absolutely. And, I love the fact that you guys are following. So it's not just a one and done. Okay, here's your link. Go, do your own thing. You're actually following through and saying, this is what people are focusing on. This is what people are interested in, because that's going to be constantly changing and constantly evolving daily, I would think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And another a key point I believe in our research and our engagement has proven it out is people are really tired of just being asked to donate. We need to put the issue into context. So our Impact Hub gives you, the user, as I said, a menu, and it may include donate or volunteer, but it may just be learn more or join this meetup or listen to this podcast or webinar. We really think carefully about matching the solutions to the content.
I'm grateful you mentioned that, because one of the things that I've noticed personally with, the negative reinforcement we're seeing instead of positive reinforcement is the communication aspect. And communicating previously has a lot of times has been yelling and screaming and shaming and blaming and, you're a terrible person because, you used a plastic bottle today. And it's like, we all have to do what we can under the circumstances we're presented with to make the better choice. And that's a daily change, and it's little small steps. And I love the fact you guys focus on those little small steps, guiding people in the right way and communicating this message. So
you said it, that everyone has a choice. So we're offering you a set of really simple choices. Maybe you want to learn more, maybe you're ready to act, maybe you want to listen, but you can do something. And all of those little somethings are a solution, and they add up to positive social change.
Every little bit helps.
That's right. That's exactly right. We're right. Imagine that.
I mean, and also it's true because, some of the conferences and webinars I've been on, there have been people who have asked questions that are not environmental specialists. They're just dipping their toes into this water. And the very simplistic things that you and I are familiar with, and we know the lingo, they'll say, I don't understand what any of that means. And that's when it clicked for me is, we have to make this language more available to everyone. We are not being inclusive when we use certain acronyms. We're not being inclusive when we use our jargon. And you guys are eliminating that. You guys are just communicating directly with the common person.
You're right. This is completely designed for mass audiences, and so much so that we can tailor the set of solutions according to demographics and according to geography, because the solutions that maybe are appropriate for the Southwest might not be appropriate for the Northeast, or India versus UK. So because everything's digital, we do the curation according to those demographics of the audience.
That's huge because, I live in California. We've got fires. I have friends that live in the Midwest. They have floods. Right. We're going to have different needs.
Right. And the guy who may not believe in climate change in the Midwest, but he may really be annoyed that his basement floods every year. And so why not talk about those solutions in a non-threatening way, just for things that affect you and what you can do to make things better?
So it's okay to disagree. I love that.
Absolutely.
I always tell people that it's okay if we disagree, if it's okay if we don't see on the same thing, as long as we're both working towards making things better. I mean, what's the harm in trying to make things just a little bit better?
That's right.
And so on that, how can people find you? How can people get involved and help and invest? You get investors. Grow this.
Absolutely. We are, in fact, at a seed round, and everyone can feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or check out our website, plusmedia.solutions. And we'd love to hear from people. And we're really, really excited. We're getting over a 70% engagement rate from our audiences. And that's just remarkable.
That 70% engagement for people who don't understand the metrics, that's gigantic. That the average is like what, 20%, 30%?
The baseline is actually 2% audience engagement. Yes. So it's really remarkable.
You're knocking it out of the park. On that, we thank you so much, Julie. And guys, check out Plus Media Solutions. great organization. It helps everybody. Communication is key with what we're trying to accomplish in life. So on that, I thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing what you guys are doing in the future.
Thanks so much, Wendy.
Take care, guys.